That's right. We've got David Brooke from Sport 24 here this morning to give us a bit of a highlight on what happened in our sporting events this weekend. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you on eXpresso.
Thank you.
Quite a busy weekend. Let's start with our Blitzbokker.
Yeah.
Not a good one for them.
No,
but hopefully they'll show how it's done in PE this week.
Well, hopefully, it's been a disappointing start to the season. They cruised through the group stages, all right, and they actually beat the All Blacks in their group stages. They absolutely mauled them. Then they go and they play France in the quarterfinals. They played France in the first leg as well. And you would think that they would absolutely cruise that one. They got beaten. They got totally outplayed, upset, straight into the plate, which you thought, okay, now we're in the plate, okay, we're going to go and win the plate. We go and play our arch rivals, Australia, and in the dying moments of the game, Australia ran in a try to beat us. So it was an extremely disappointing weekend. But now the party moves to Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It's going to be an absolutely awesome weekend in Port Elizabeth. People are already preparing. I've seen a couple of tweets that the road trip has already started from wherever they are in the country. So it's going to be a great one. Cecil Africa, who's the IRB Player of the Year, he's our star player. He's been missing for the last tournament and the previous tournament after the first game. So to not have him in our side has been a huge loss. So he's now back for Port Elizabeth. Fantastic. So thankfully he'll be back. Our star player's back because, in a game of sevens, one person makes a huge, huge difference.
No, it does, absolutely.
Especially in the caliber of Cecil Africa. So he's back for PE, and hopefully they'll wrap him in cotton wool before then. Not let him go out.
With fragile.
Not let him go out past 7 o'clock at night.
6:30.
Exactly. So then hopefully we'll win that at home. The first one in Port Elizabeth, it's there for the taking.
And the golf this weekend at Sun City. Big
the
weekend.
golf.
I was watching it on Twitter. People were tweeting, saying they were there.
I thought Charles Schwartzel was going to win it.
I think a lot of us thought
and I was hoping he was the only South African in the field. It would have been a great story to see him go and win. But Lee Westwood, who's the defending champion, he won last year. And he, first 2 rounds he was consistent, but he wasn't, he didn't put on that great a show. Third round comes, he shoots a 62. Which is just unheard of at Sun City. And the minute you do that and the other guy starts shooting 67, 68, you go six ahead in the leading into the final round, and you go, okay, well, I can enjoy my Sunday now because, but you never know in golf, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
The guy like Lee Westwood, he's not going to throw it away, and he absolutely cruised to the title. Schwartzel eventually landed up 5th. Graham McDowell had a very good tournament. It was his first event. He's the Northern Irishman. And he came 3rd, so it wasn't too bad. It was a great weekend of golf, though.
And the one-day cup, there was a big match.
Yeah, effectively it was a one semi-final. The winner between the Knights and the Warriors go on this Friday to play the Cape Cobras in Cape Town at Newlands. So pressure was on. The Knights posted 280, which is a decent score in local cricket.
That is very good,
in 50 overs. But the Warriors, who have also quite an experienced side, they got a guy, Colin Ingram, who's a Proteas star. He's a middle-order batsman, but he really took the lead, and he went and he scored a century. And when you're chasing 280, you need one of your players to really go out there and score a century. Craig Tayson, who's got the biggest biceps in local cricket, who's top come to about there, he hit a 6 to win the game, and now they play the Cobras in the final this Friday night.
And in football, anything exciting happen over the weekend?
Yeah, well, locally it was a great one for Orlando Pirates. They've been a bit inconsistent. They've had some good cup performances. They've had 1 or 2 decent performances in the league, but they played the leaders, Supersport United, and they smashed them 3-0. Benny McCarthy, it seems that when he plays, he scores. When he doesn't play, he's injured and he's out for 5 weeks, kind of thing. So he's kind of on and off, but when he's on, he's really on. He's smashed home a penalty. And they beat Supersport United 3-0, ended their unbeaten run. So they're looking good now. They're trying to kickstart their season now. And then Kaizer Chiefs edge Sundowns. Over in England, Man City are just scoring goals at will. Another 5 for them. So they've had a great week.
Well, I know we're going to catch up with you at 7 o'clock again just to get the sporting wrap. In the meantime, let's go over to Kia, who's got your traffic and your weather news.
Stay with eXpresso and SABC3.